Okay, hello, my name is Shalondra Santiago, and today I'm going to talk to you about global warming. Now, I know some of us may not know what global warming means. Some of us might have heard it, but we just might not believe it. So, I'm going to tell you what I've seen, and we're going to talk about what we've read and what we've heard in the news. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of us who follow things with any type of habitat, environmental danger, we all know about Al Gore's The Inconvenient Truth, where he talks about global warming affecting everything and basically making us have bad storms and places that are definitely shrinking due to the whole overwarming process. But it's a difference in reading about something and actually seeing something. Because see, you can read something in a textbook all day long and you won't get the same effect than if you actually go there and see that thing for yourself. Then you get a totally different effect. So, to start this story, let me begin by telling you something that happened 2 years ago. Around 2.5 years ago, we went fishing on a lake that we frequently go to. Now, over the past couple of years, we've noticed the water has started to just recede, little by little by little. Well, because of this project, I decided a couple of weeks ago to go out and see firsthand just how bad the water is, how bad it's declined. And what I found out is basically the water is probably about 5 feet lower than what it used to be. And it's sad in a way because a lot of people depended on that lake for food. Not only do people depend on that lake for food, but fish also use that lake for a home. Birds use that lake for a hunting ground. You know, when we're talking about the drying up of something like a lake, which is a natural resource because it's water, we're talking about so many different habitats and communities that are impacted negatively because of the drying out of these situations and these places. So, what do we know about global warming? Well, we know global warming is not something that's fake. We know it's not false. We know it's real. How do we know it's real? We know it's real because we know that there have been tornadoes, F4 and F5, horrible tornadoes that have killed towns. I'm talking about wiped out towns. I just want to say hundreds of people. I will say they have wiped out towns. We know that there have been tsunamis that have killed hundreds of thousands of people. We know that there have been hurricanes that have displaced thousands of people, cities of people, and it's because of global warming. Now, some of you may not believe that global warming is something to want to hear or listen about or be taught about, because it's not something that affects you. However, anytime you want to go out to the supermarket and say you want to buy this special fruit that you love so much, something could happen that fruit may not be there because guess what? The impact for the farmer that year due to global warming caused that farmer not to be able to actually produce that fruit that year. Or there could be less of those because maybe the farmer got a lot of them, but unfortunately he wasn't able to put it out to that venue because he has such a smaller production of those kiwis or whatever it is that you might like. So we see how global warming directly affects us because it is something that when it's something brought to us and the fact of, okay, you can't eat what you like to eat, we kind of tend to look a little bit more. Or you may not can take 3 baths and you love taking 3 baths a day. We think about it a little bit more. Now, for some of you people that love to water your yards all day and all night, I know you've probably been wondering about those signs that are up in the roads talking about you have to limit your water. Why? Because we are witnessing a shortage of water. And unfortunately, some of you guys may not believe that it's true, but it is true. Because we are witnessing a shorter demand of water, or not so much demand, but we've seen that water is starting to kind of go away, which is something that's going to be really scary in the future if we do not get our handle on it. Because imagine a future where there's no water, where there's no drinkable water. So when you get thirsty in the middle of the night, there's nothing to drink. Imagine that. That's going to be horrible. Now, a lot of times we can talk about things and we can ask, well, where's the proof? Where's the scientific proof? Well, there's a magazine, internet site, Newsweek.com or NextWeek.com actually. There's a February 2013 issue where it talks about the Great Lakes, like Lake Michigan, starting to get a little bit smaller because the climates are heating up, or the climate is heating up and it's causing the earth to get hotter. Okay, so maybe you've never seen Lake Michigan, so you really don't know what you're missing anyways. Well, I flew over it once, and it's huge. Honestly, it makes a bigger impact when you kind of know the areas that are impacted by the global warming, because then you kind of have a real eye-to-eye contact of what's going on. You know, I can sit here and tell you what global warming is all day long, but until you go out and visit the places that you used to visit maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago, you're not going to see the difference. Challenge yourself. You get up and you go to the lake that you used to go to when you were a kid. You go visit the forest site that you used to visit 5 years ago. Tell me what you see. Tell me, do you see a difference? Do you see a difference? And if that difference is there, is it because of global warming? You know, we think it's such a great idea to build all these beautiful big condos and shopping centers where basically no one's able to use. They're just sitting blank. But the truth of the matter is, every tree you cut down was somebody's house. And it may not have been somebody in the pose of a human, but it was a creature's house. It was a bird's house. It was beetles. It was something. Something lived there. Something used that for home. And yes, I could be talking about the tree hugger little society. But honestly, when we're talking about global warming, let's think about the articles from the different sites that help us to learn about our parks and our wildlife. Let's think about some of the books that people have taken the time to write, like Al Gore and like NextWeek.com, when they're talking about some of the places that have seen 12 to 13 inches of just watery, just poof in the air, evaporated over so long. You know, it's damaging. It's scary, and it's real. And again, if you don't believe in global warming, I challenge you, go to one of those special spots that you visited when you were a kid. Is it still there? Are the lakes still there? The very first time I ever got to see true global warming in its beauty, I guess you could say, and this was before I truly knew what global warming was, when we were in California. You would see all of these places on the map, and you're driving through, and it's supposed to be a river, but it's not. It's just dry land. It's no river. It's nothing. It's just dirt. And it's like, well, what happened? How is it that water dries up? And then here we are today, 2014. Things are drying up once again. So, that's it. Have a good day. Bye.
Oh.